Hello!
Hello!
We
We need to do it in time.
But only the, updates in time.
I thought the hello in time. We're here to please our viewers. There's one who left a comment.
But we don't know whether it's the hello or the, updates that needs to be simultaneously.
Well, probably hello.
Hello! We are...
Annie and Konstantin.
And you're watching another episode of...
Updates.
It's 1 a.m. and we're having our traditional Friday with pizza and cold alcoholic beverages because we're adults. Kids don't do drugs. Adults do Fridays sometimes. It's a good thing. We have this concept of a rolling Friday. So we work a few days and at the end of our work segment, whether it's a Wednesday or a Friday or a Sunday, we say, alright, we've done a couple of stuff. Let's make a night where we eat junk food, watch interesting stuff, and get a little bit tipsy.
Adult beverages. Happy frickin' Friday.
Happy Friday. This week, what happened this week, Annie?
Well, for me personally, I spent most of this week working on non-KA work because I acquired a part-time job. So these are good news, but that's making me a little bit slower right now. It's not going to hold us back very much because we're very determined and incredibly attractive. The script for the depression episodes is in a spreadsheet and I need another half a day to really nail it down. I just need to find that half a day. One cool thing that did happen with the depression and anxiety life hacks is that we actually went to Konstantin's university to meet with his film professor and a class there to watch a short film on depression and then also talk to him about our little depression anxiety life hacks project. And we have decided to again expand our depression anxiety life hack project a little bit by adding a mental health day that we're going to try to organize at Konstantin's university and then maybe take it to other universities around town, around Germany. We'll see, because it is an incredibly important issue and I think raising awareness by talking about it in positive and holistic ways, by looking at the issue not just from depression is bad and people who have it suffer and it's sad. It's a really limited scope that you get from a lot of media and from a lot of art that is being made about depression. And that's bad because it makes you feel even more hopeless. I mean, it might raise awareness a little bit, but it doesn't raise awareness to the right things. So we're going to change that by, changing the world. And we're going to start with the Depression Anxiety Life Hacks series, which is going to continue on YouTube, but we're also going to take it regional and local and see if we can't organize some mental health days and show art on the subject that is actually good. I just talked for a really long time. Do you want me to say it all again in more concise ways?
No.
Thank you.
Regarding La Moucteur, it's quite interesting because there's a pattern in my work and I would like to explain it a little bit. Since I've been venturing into a couple of different art fields, I write short stories, I draw and I make movies, and there's an overlap in the development of the project. So imagine like a graph. On the x-axis you have the progression of the project from 0% to 100% till it's done. On the y-axis you have the relatively perceived awesomeness of the idea. No matter if it's an idea for a drawing or a short story or a film, usually it starts out that I have this idea or this image and I think that could be really good, really awesome, because I know how much work needs to be invested to make an art project happen. The idea needs to be pretty high up there and then I'll start to do the project. Problem is, after that, when I break down the whole idea, usually I start to think like, oh boy, that's a lot of work. And then I pick out ideas and points and I work on them. If it's a drawing, I need to work on the hand and I need to work on the nose, I need to work on the eye, and then gradually the perceived awesomeness increases because I see, oh, that works out. When it's almost done, when we're at 90%, usually it's like you look at the whole picture or you look at the rough cut of your movie and you're like, it's a thing. And that's the beauty and the terrible thing about art, because it's not like you're building a house where alright, so this is done, the walls are up and now I need the roof and now I need to paint it and then it's done. Because you don't know how the final house needs to look, because it's art. But it's a trust thing. Even though I don't know how I'm gonna fix it, it'll work out. Because it's always been that way. With every art project I have ever made, there's always this 90% point, and that's the reason why I'm telling you this whole shenanigan stuff. That's where I'm at with L'Amocteur. I know it could be really, really good, but right now it's kinda meh. But somehow I think it'll be fine. I'll try a thing, and then if it doesn't work out, I'll try another thing, and if this doesn't work out, I'll try another thing. Eventually, and that's the beauty of it, eventually you come at that point where you start seeing the whole idea, and maybe it's different from what you started out. At the end, ideally, you have this feeling like, I can show that to people. That's not bad. That's actually pretty decent. It's not the best thing in the world, but in this time frame, with these resources, with my current skill set, this is the best end result I could have come up with. You don't have to make the best thing in the world, you have to make the best thing you are currently capable of. That's the ideal result. I hope that there will be this point with L'Amocteur in the next couple of weeks. I mean, it's been that with basically every project I have ever started, and I hope it will continue. But you never know.
You basically already did your epiphany. You already said very smart things.
Sorry.
I think my epiphany this week has been about perspective, which comes at you courtesy of my very good friend Kelly, who sent me a story about dying alone in New York City. And Konstantin's first impression was, this is kind of a boring story. It's slow and it's really freaking long, and I'm not going to read all of that. And I started reading it, and I was reading it basically with Kelly's voice in my head, because she sent it to me. And to me it was this, delightful, poetic, passionate story about emotion and about love and loneliness and everything, really. I think this is the kind of story that is so open to your own point of view. It's a story that you either put a lot of yourself in and you find something in it and you get something from it, or it's something where if you're not coming at it with an emotional background, it's a pretty slow read. Which is an interesting lesson when you're looking at art and you're looking at filmmaking and you're looking at writing, because intention matters in the sense that perspective matters. The way you look at things makes you see different things. People generally agree about the awesomeness of Harry Potter, but I guarantee you that you and the next guy have read different books because you saw different things in it. And that is really important to me, because seeing multiple perspectives is an incredibly important skill in the current world that we live in, and that's something that I think is really important to me in making art. I want to help people see different perspectives. I want to help people see things from a different angle that they didn't consider before. But also thinking about what do other people get out of things is just a neat question to ask yourself. Anyway, I'm getting very philosophical and I'm rambling a lot. I got to ponder perspective this week, and I think that's the thing that I'm carrying with me. Can you make something useful out of that?
Yeah, of course. What kind of a question is that, Anne?
Basically, every time I make videos, I just sit here and move my lips. And then I go and I make every sound there is. And then Konstantin just cuts it together into the coherent things.
It's easier than you might think. What the hell, man?
I know.